very good morning to my friends and happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? And it is still the morning. Yes. I hope you're all doing well. I am out and about vlogging in the wild today. I'm about to go for a walk. I usually try and do like a walk out in my favorite park at least once a week, twice a week if I can find the time, but I haven't done it in almost 2 weeks and I'm sort of like craving it. So even though the weather is like quite cloudy and it's threatening to rain, I'm like, no, today I'm going for a walk. And I just find when I go out for a walk, it's a really great way just to sort of like reset. It's a really good time just to think and reevaluate just things that are happening and the things that I need to do. And yeah, it's just a really good way to just to be a little bit more mindful, move the body, and just be outside and breathing in fresh air and all those other good things. So that's what we're doing this morning. Then later on today I have a few things I need to help Graham with, but yeah, then I think I'm just going to do a little bit of sewing. I'm making 7 last Love and Kisses blocks because why not? I want to make that quilt even bigger than what I said in my last vlog. So over the last couple of days I've just had some really lovely sort of mindful sewing sessions where I just am sort of sitting and just slowly sewing and enjoying each step as it goes. So I might do a little bit more of that this afternoon. I'm also in the middle of editing the first quilt along tutorial. I was hoping to have that out last week, but there's just a few little things that just need changing. There's a few little niggly things that I'm just not quite happy with, because when I launch a quilt along I need it to be as smooth and as easy to understand as possible. So I'm just sort of like retweaking a few things behind the scenes to make sure that everything sort of runs smoothly. And because I'm also relaunching my Patreon along with the quilt along, I want it to sort of just be smooth and easy. But anyway, I know what I'm talking about and I'm sure you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and go for a walk. Lately I've actually really enjoyed walking without having any AirPods in or listening to music, just sort of like listening to the sounds of nature. But I think today I might, did I bring them? Oh yeah, I might actually put my AirPods in and listen to just some nice music, or I might do like an Apple fitness podcast walking thing that they have. I find a celebrity to listen to and listen to how wonderful their life is. I might just check the weather, just double check if I might need to take my umbrella. What is the time? It's 11 a.m, 29% rain, and it's getting higher and higher as the day goes by. Whoa, 83% at 7 p.m. Okay, I might actually just take my umbrella with me just in case, and it'll just also be nice to have something swinging in my hand, I guess. So let's go. Friends, walk all done. Walked a little bit longer than I usually do today. I did about 45 minutes, which was very much needed. I just needed to just walk out all of my worries and thoughts, so that was good. It was actually quite a crisp, fresh kind of day today. A little bit nippy. It's currently late autumn at the moment, so the days are getting a little bit more chillier, a little bit more crisper, which I don't mind at all because I love the cold. I love getting cozy and warm and having nice hot drinks and being in nice warm cozy jumpers and quilts. So I love this kind of weather. It means that I can just go out and just walk and not be hot and sweaty and gross. So it's almost midday, so I'm going to go home, have lunch, help Graham with a few of the things he needs doing, and then we'll try and do some sewing this afternoon. Pretty excited about that. Yeah. I'm really excited about this quilt. It's so close to being finished. Well, the quilt top anyway. And it's just going to look so good. I just can't wait for it to be finished. Exciting. A very good morning to you, my friends. And happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the sewing room. We are doing the sewing that I was going to be doing yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to. So I'm taking some time this morning to do some block making. As I mentioned yesterday, I have 7, actually technically it's 6. I'm just doing 7 just as like a spare one just in case a block doesn't work. But I've got 7 last Love and Kisses blocks to make, and we've got a nice lovely production line going, and we're at a point where we need to start pressing. I've been chain stitching all of the little heart sections together. Now I just got to press these last little corners up and then stitch the hearts together, and then that's another sort of section of the block finished. So I thought while I press we might have a chat again. I did this in my last vlog and I really quite liked just chatting and pressing at the same time. I also honestly enjoyed editing that part as well, because I just thought it was really quite down to earth, just sort of like a friend catching up with another friend, and we're just standing and talking, doing things, and getting things done while also being chatty and stuff. So I have 14 of these little sections to press, so yeah, we'll see how we go. So I mentioned yesterday that I was still in the processes of getting the quilt along started. It is coming along really slowly, and thank you all for your patience. I know that there's a lot of you who are waiting for the quilt along to start. As I mentioned, there are just a few little things that I want to get right before I sort of put everything out in the public. And yeah, those little things will just make the next sort of steps to the quilt along a lot easier for me on my side of things. So it's on its way, I promise. We're working to get it done. Also trying to get this quilt done because I'm just so excited about it, and I'm in a mood to get it finished. It's coming into colder, cozier weather here in Australia, which is my favourite time to sew and to quilt, because obviously it's not hot anymore. It's nice to sort of stand in front of an iron and press and not, you know, be in a sweaty mess by the end of it. And it's also cozying up under a quilt kind of season as well, and I love being underneath a quilt as I'm quilting it at the sewing machine, and obviously it's not all that pleasant doing that in 40-degree heat. So as it does come into the cooler weather here, my sewing mojo, as you will, does come back with a vengeance. I am thinking ahead, and I have looked at my stash to see what fabric I can back the quilt with. I have a really good one in mind. Hopefully there's enough fabric for the backing, because now that I've made the quilt bigger than what I expected it to be, yeah, hopefully I'll have enough, but yeah, we'll cross that path when we get to it, I think. And then I'm pretty sure I know how I'm going to bind it. It's just figuring out how to quilt it. I always come to this point where I'm like, how am I going to quilt this quilt? What am I going to do that's maybe different to what I usually do, or something fun and different and pushing the boundaries of my skill and my knowledge? I don't know yet. I don't know whether I'm just going to go my fail-safe and just do straight line quilting in a kind of grid pattern, or just straight lines, or I ditch stitch, or I even maybe free motion. That's I don't know, that's a bit of a scary thought. So yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to think about, but I am so determined to get this quilt finished. I want to snuggle underneath this quilt as it gets warmer. No, I want to snuggle under this quilt as it gets colder, Amanda. Oh my gosh. I want to be warmer under the cozy quilt. I think that's what I was trying to think. I don't know. But anyway, I am now going to sit in the machine and piece my little hearts together and see how they go. I also have a trillion amount of half square triangles to trim up. Ugh. But that's okay. I'll just put on some good music and just zone out and just go with the flow as I'm cutting 10 billion half square triangles. Happy days. Oh my gosh, my friends, I was just about to sit down and chain stitch all of my little hearts together. I was just like, I was gonna check the bobbin just in case, because I knew that it was beginning to get to a point where it was a bit low. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad I checked. Look at how much was left in the bobbin. I put it against my black shirt, but look, not a lot at all. I love that. That's a sewist's intuition, that is. Oh, I'm so glad I checked, otherwise I would have just been bopping along, not knowing, and then have to go back and do it all over again. So I'm going to fill my bobbin and yeah, get into some chain stitching. Well, a very good afternoon to you, my friends, and happy Monday. It's the 26th of May today. I hope you're all doing well. Now, I think it's been at least a week since I last said hello in this vlog, but for the last week I was making a secret quilt, a very special secret quilt for my nephew who turned 18 last Monday. So I took the week to make him a very special 18th birthday quilt to give to him at his party last Saturday. So yeah, that's what I was doing last week. I didn't film any of it. I only filmed one little bit of me quilting it, which I'll put right here. And then these are some of the photos of the quilt that I took as I was making it, and the little label that I made. I used my embroidery machine to do that. That's the first time I've ever done a label like that before, because I do it all by hand, and it's usually a hexaflower. And then I also used the little Made by Auntie quilt labels from, oh, I think it's Little Rosy Cheeks. These are the ones. They're by Little Rosy Cheeks, and it says Made by Auntie, and a very lovely viewer gifted them to me, and I'm like, I better use them. So I thought it would be pretty appropriate to use that on that lovely quilt. I thought it was quite a nice thing to do, because I've made all of the kids' quilts when they were born, so they all have baby quilts, but I thought, well, as they turn 18 they can get a proper, more grown-up kind of quilt as they go into adulthood. So Caleb was the first one, and yeah, I just cannot believe I have a nephew who is 18 and that my brother has a child that is an adult. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's why this vlog's a little bit like delayed in timing. But after making that quilt and having a really, really great time using this new sort of space that I've done, quilting was such a breeze. Like, it was just so much easier sitting down at my machine and just quilting and just enjoying life. So since finishing that quilt, it has made me so motivated to finish the Love and Kisses quilt. All of the blocks are finished. You can't see because the door's closed, but let's close that. And you can see, ta-da! I think I'm pretty happy with the layout. Now that I see it on camera, I'm not sure about these two blocks here. Maybe they're a little bit too dark to be together. So I might just do a little bit of re-looking and seeing if it looks alright, but I'm pretty happy with it. You can't see all of it. I'll just tilt the camera down, you can sort of see a little bit more. So that's sort of the whole layout of the quilt. Actually, no, it doesn't look so bad, because now that you can see these ones down here, it sort of balances these ones here. So I think I like it. Maybe I'll swap one of these two around. There's two dark hearts here. One is black and one is like a really deep maroony pink. I might move that one. I might swap those around. We'll see. Apart from that, I'm pretty happy with the layout, and I am so pumped to get it started. So that's what we're going to do. And while I actually piece the blocks together, it's going to give me the chance to test out a very new fun little It's a gadget product. It's a product that I recently bought that is expensive, but hopefully it will be good. And it's actually a new tabletop ironing board by Joseph. Ta-da! The tabletop ironing board that I have at the moment is from IKEA. It's usually $12 and the quality of it is worth $12. After pressing all of the blocks for Caleb's quilt and just constantly using that ironing board, it's slowly getting lower and lower and lower. And the quality of the ironing board's just not great. So I thought I'd invest in something that was relatively like good, hopefully, because I will be doing most of my pressing and sort of ironing bits on the tabletop here in my sewing room. And you know, you need good equipment. I did buy a wool mat and I still am determined to use that, but a lot of people said you need protection underneath it, and I just haven't gotten around to really looking into it. So this is the next alternative. I actually bought this on sale through a store here called Big W, and then I also had a $10 voucher, so it made it even cheaper. It's usually well over $100. I got it for about $70, including free shipping, which is great. So pretty expensive for a ironing board. We're gonna unbox it and give it a whirl as we piece these blocks together. So let's see what it's like. Okay, my friends, here is my little ironing board that was from IKEA. Don't get me wrong, it is a really good pressing ironing board. Like, it's really nice and firm. But as you can see, it's just starting to bounce a bit. And that's not really fun when you're piecing and it's bouncing all over the place. I also did accidentally lean on it as I was leaning over to get something over here. It kind of bent out of shape, so it's on a slight lean. So it's just, yeah, it's not good, guys. So we're going to have this as like a backup, I think. Ugh. I'll pop it back in the wardrobe, and we'll use it if I really feel like I need to. And as I mentioned, I still have my wool mat down here to give a go sometime or other, but we just need to make sure we've got the right things underneath it to protect my table. If you've never seen this ironing board before, it's one that can actually be like folded up, so you can like easily store it somewhere, and then you can open it up on the tabletop or counter space, wherever you are. What I also liked about this one is it actually is slightly longer too. It's about 90 centimeters, which should kind of fit about there. I just found that the IKEA one was just a little bit too short to be able to have the bits that I'm pressing and just to be organized in the way that I like to be as I'm pressing. So hopefully with this one being just a little bit longer, it should be perfect. Let's open it up. Careful of your fingers. Ooh. That is just instructions in there. Okay, that's just packaging. Here we go, puppy. Give that a sniff. Ironing board, empty box. So here it is. There's a little spot in the back if you want to store it with an iron. And then on the other side is just a pair of legs. How do I open it? That's the good question. It's too fancy for me. Oh, I pull it. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so there's a little lever here and you pull it to take off the elastic. Open up the legs on either side and open her up. Oh wow. Oh, that's so big. Oh, it's nice and firm too. Very good. Oh, I like it. That is so much better. Oh, and it fits the space really well. I can go there. Iron on top. Yeah, that's so much better because I usually press here while I have my bits here. The board from IKEA was just not long enough, so that's really awesome. It's super strong, nice and firm, so that hopefully should work well. Oh, it fits perfect in the space too. Happy days, guys. Happy days. Nice. Okay, well, I'm going to pack up all the mess and then we'll get piecing. Happy days again. It's turning out to be a good Monday. So we're back in front of the quilt up on the wall, and I think I'm going to leave the blocks where they are. I think it looks different in real life than it does on the camera, so I think I've got the balance right with like the dark blocks and the dark hearts and stuff like that. So we're going to leave it. We're just going to go with it. We're not going to overthink it. Before I start piecing, which I think I'm going to start from the bottom row and sort of work my way up, I just wanted to quickly share with you where I actually got this pattern from, because I have had a lot of questions where to get this pattern for this block, and I'm aware that there's possibly a lot of new people. Oh, I can't get this book out. I know that there's a lot of new people that are watching, so for those of you who missed out on where I got this block from, I got it from this book here. It is called Quilting with Liberty Fabrics by Jenny Smith, and I actually did a book and block review of this, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago now, so I will link that for you to go watch. I go through the book from what I can remember, and I also do a test version of this block and let you know what my thoughts are. So this is a beautiful, beautiful book full of really great quilting patterns, all involving Liberty fabrics. My quilt doesn't have a lot of Liberty fabrics. I've only got a couple in there. It's a real sort of hodgepodge, mismatch kind of scrappy quilt, so you don't have to use Liberty fabrics to make these quilts. And the pattern that I am using, if I can find it, is this one here, called Love Kisses, and that's the final quilt finished in the book. I just really love it. It's really, really sweet. Just the scrappy nature of it really drew me in, because a lot of my quilts are scrappy quilts. I love just like the mix of different patterns and colours and prints and all that other fun stuff. So it's very much my kind of quilt. And then on page 150 you've got all of the instructions showing you how to make it. So I highly recommend getting this book if you're into Liberty fabrics, if you love just piecing lots of really fun different blocks, and if you want to just sort of like spend a little while on one particular project, because this has taken me a while to make, but I mean life has sort of gone on around it as well. But if you're looking just for a really nice project just to sort of work on, then yeah, I highly recommend this quilt, recommend the book, recommend Liberty, recommend all of the good fun things. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start from the bottom row and work my way up, and we might even get the whole quilt top finished today. It's a goal. Yeah, it's a goal to work towards, and I think it is definitely possible. gosh.